Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2010 inductions to the Shaggers Hall of Fame. We'd like to introduce the leaders of the Hall of Fame. First of all, the president of the Shaggers Hall of Fame, my friend, Mr. Sam McIntosh. And I think her title is secretary, but I think she may be more like assistant to the president. Would you welcome Wanda Yao? Had to think of that last name.
Still on? Thank you all for coming. I want to welcome you to the 2010 inductee ceremony, and we think it's going to be a good one. We got some wonderful folks going in. We're going to give you longer breaks this year. We're going to do like 6 record breaks so that you can enjoy yourselves a little bit. There'll be less breaks, but better breaks. So I'll tell you that up front.
Pardon, Sam.
Jeez.
I heard he was having a little problem. I didn't know it was that bad.
I'd like to start off by introducing a few folks that I know most of you know, but we like to get these introductions behind us, and then Wanda's going to do some housekeeping stuff, and then we'll get right into the program. The first person I'd like to introduce is our CEO and my friend, Mr. Chick Hedrick, and his lovely bride, Carolyn, who is my buddy. The executive board is made up of 4 guys. I happen to be one of them. Speedy Lewis is another, and I don't think Speedy's here tonight. His health is not holding up real good. Next, my buddy, my friend, as they used to call us Nip and Tuck when we played golf together. That's because we lost everything. Roger Burroughs. Roger, stand up. And the last one, you're going to hear from him later, well, not much later, but in a little while. And he's, without him, I don't know what we'd do. Mr. Bob Myrick. Our regular board is, and I'm not sure, I don't think Charlie's here tonight. Charlie? Charlie Womble.
They are here. They are.
Okay. Stand up if you're...
They're in West Virginia.
They're in West Virginia. Okay. John Teal, I know he's here. Where are you, Johnny? Right over here. Thank you, John. Don Bryant, I know where Don is. Thank you, Don. The lady that's in charge really runs the membership portion of the Hall of Fame, and you've seen her at the door, and you've seen her running here and there, and without her, she is just so invaluable to us, is Judy Eastwood. Yeah. Judy, where are you? Are you outside? There's my baby. Okay. The next one handles our spring parade. She handles our portion, the Hall of Fame portion of the spring parade, which is one heck of a job. I mean, she'd line up people, cars, begging for cars. So if you got one that you want to put in next year's, she'll take it.
Y'all go buy a convertible.
Yeah, buy a convertible. But our dear Marilyn Burridge. Thank you. And the last one is here with me. She is my right hand, and she is also the secretary, sergeant at arms, and a lot of other things. But I couldn't make it without her. Wadia.
Thank you. Just to let y'all know, I'm still on prednisone.
Hey, I keep my distance on prednisone. I hope she's here tonight, but I would like to talk about a woman that helps us tremendously as a shag nation, and that is, we have so many events at North Myrtle Beach, and they go smoothly, and we're looked after. We have a caring atmosphere in which to have these. And that doesn't just happen. That's because of one person. And that is our lovely mayor, Marilyn Hatley. She looks after us, folks. And those of you that live here better vote for her again. Thank you for being here. We have and I got a list that Carolyn handed me earlier, but this room does not get warm and cozy. It's just it's a banquet room. But a lot of work goes in this afternoon, this past day, to make it a little warmer, a little more cozy, a little more acceptable to everyone. And the person that handles that for us is Carolyn Hedrick. And she's got some great help. Carolyn, stand up. That's my girl. She had some wonderful help today. Peggy Burridge. Peggy, you're over there. I see Mary Lynn sitting there. Stand up, Mary Lynn. Yes, you did. You were here. You worked hard. Make sure I don't miss him. Sherry Strickland. Sherry's right over here. Stand up, Sherry. Sherry busted her. I mean, she was taping and sticking and pulling tables and doing it all. So thank you. Phyllis Tiller. Phyllis, where are you? I know you're here. Stand up. There she is. Again, she worked tirelessly. Jeannie Pack. Jeannie, our girl. Stand up, baby. Worked her fanny off today, too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. No, I had her stand up. But I'm about to forget a very important one, and that's my spouse. Lolita. Loretta, where are you? Stand up. Oh, and her new red hat. But they do a tremendous job to make it a little better in here for this ceremony. He's not here. But I still have to remember, because we have to remember where this came from. And it came from an idea that Mr. Rick Hubbard had. Sand Flea Beach Club. Ricky, you're not here, but we thank you anyway. We can't do any of this without music. We have 2 DJs tonight. One of them has been with us since the very first Hall of Fame. And he's still playing tonight, and I'll play as long as he wants to. And that's our Hall of Fame DJ, Mr. Jim Davis. It's a lot of work that goes on shuffling all this and trying to keep up with all these changes that the inductees make every 15 minutes or every 20 minutes or whatever. But to help Jim, we've got another Hall of Fame DJ, Mr. Sid Pruitt, my buddy. He's been doing this about 18 years.
My turn.
Yes.
Well, first of all, this is being videoed. And if anybody would like a video, if you would come to me and let me know during break or at the end of this. They're $20 each if you pick them up at Bob Myrick's house. If you want them shipped, they're $22. Now we have some CDs out front from 2005. I hope you don't have too many at your house, Bob. Out front from 2005 to 2009 that are $15. And they're out there on the table. If anybody would like any of those, feel free to go buy one of those. I would like to recognize, Andy, did you bring any of your old ones?
Well, they can order.
Well,
They can order them, right? All they got to do is see Eddie, and he'll I guarantee he'll sell you one.
and he's going to donate the money to Hall of Fame Foundation for any of the videos that, and this will be prior to 2005, I guess. Okay? Mr. Eddie Monster was over here at this table.
Yes, yeah.
We'd like to thank Harold Worley for letting us use the ballroom, and his daughter Jessica for helping out. She's worked with Sam, Paul, Mike, Mike's son, everybody's helped out. But we couldn't do it without them, so I'd like to thank any of them. If y'all see Paul, thank him. Next, each inductee will receive a plaque and a lifetime SOS gold card. And when I give you these envelopes, the gold card is in the envelope, so do not lose it. It has your name on the envelope, and then there's also a letter about the pavers in there. So please, when we give them to you, along with your plaque, hold on to it. Now tonight, we normally have all the Hall of Famers come up and dance that are already in the Hall of Fame at one time, and y'all know it's like a Chinese fire drill out there. So the hardest thing for me this weekend, or this week, or the prior weeks, is trying to decide to divide them into two groups. Well, it's a good thing I'm not a school teacher, because I'd have killed the kids by now. But a bunch of them. But we are divided into two groups, and I tried to catch a lot of people last night and say whether you're in group 1 or group 2. We always have more women than men. So I'm going to ask group 1 to come up and dance. And I have told y'all who's in group 1, and I hope you were sober enough to remember. I tried to catch a lot of you tonight to remind you. And a lot of the men that dance in group 1 will also be dancing in group 2. And I have to tell you that Jack Ricker thought I was kidding last night when I said, I know you're young enough to dance 2 in a row. He said, are you being sarcastic? I said, no. He said, I'm going to be 81 my birthday. I said, but can't you dance 2 in a row? He said, yeah. I said, well, then we got you for 2 in a row. So with group 1, come on out on the floor. And Chick and Carolyn are going to dance. So y'all, come on out, the ones I told you, group 1. And a lot of you men, if you feel like you can dance the second dance, stay on out on the floor, because a woman will come get you from group 2 to come out and dance. Just grab somebody that has a beige ribbon on.
Wanda, as you look at this, can you imagine 1 and 2 together? They'd be dancing in the hallway.
And I'd like for group 2 to come up. Group 2, men and women.
Some ladies out there.
I know it's some ladies that haven't danced. Janet Harold, are you out here? anybody that didn't dance that's already in the Hall of Fame, it's your own fault. I did the best I could.
I think we're going to have 3 next year.
We might. I have a very important announcement. In this back corner, Walt Graves has a card for Charles Gurley, and when we do the break, if y'all would, or sometime, go back there and sign the card for Charles. Thank you.
One of the most important parts of the dance is to keep it going. And we do that partially with the keepers of the dance. And our chairman is going to come up and tell you about what all happened this year, which was an exciting, very different year. I mean, he did some things that brought these keepers back out, has done, I'm just thrilled to death with what all he's done. But I would like to ask our chairman of the Keepers of the Dance, Mr. Bob Myrick, Esquire, to please come up.
Thank you, Sam. Get my spectacles here. We don't have any lights up here. First off, let me welcome everybody here this evening. And we got a great crowd of Hall of Famers, great crowd of guests. Wanda, Sam, thank you. Hall of Fame, Chick, thank you. Carolyn, all the board members. This is the 12th anniversary of the Keepers of the Dance. What is it, 28th? Or 20, what anniversary is it, the Hall of Fame? 20? How many? 28? Okay, all right, good. The Keepers of the Dance started in 1998. And it was started, and I know we all have heard a lot of this before, but I want to say it again because some of you that may be the first time here. And this to me is one of the most important parts of what we do as the Shaggers Hall of Fame. Started in 1998 to recognize former junior shaggers who, through their character and reputation and continued participation in the dance, helped keep the dance and the music alive. So this will be the 12th class, and I've been doing this now for, I don't even know how many years as the chairman of this particular committee, but this past year was an exciting year. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but I want to recognize the committee for the Keepers of the Dance. Mr. Chick Hedrick, President Emeritus of the Hall of Fame. Chick. And another committee member who does a yeoman's task for trying to keep us all together, and most importantly tries to keep all these keepers in line and let them know what's going on and when to come and what events are happening, and he emails and Facebooks and does all of this, and I'm computer illiterate, so he's a great help. And he's the secretary of the Keepers of the Dance, Mr. Bill Barber. Bill, thank you for a great job every year. Sam McIntosh, our president of the Shaggers Hall of Fame, is also on the committee. Sam, thank you. Miss Susan Neal, a great, great dancer in her own right, and a well-known children. She's here. And the founder and owner of the National Shag Dance Championships, Mr. Barry Thigpen. Barry? And my beautiful bride, Miss Mary Lynn Meyer. And there's one other, besides myself, there's one other committee member who's actually on the committee, and we made a decision a couple of years ago. We thought that a keeper should be on the committee, so he or she would know what was going on. So we chose Mr. Matt Free. I do not know whether Matt's here tonight or not, but Matt has done a great job in helping us keep up with all these kids and letting them know what's going on and helping us out. So we thank him very much. A couple of people I want to mention. I mentioned Chick, who was instrumental in founding the Keepers. And there's another person, a couple of people here tonight who were instrumental in founding the Keepers. One is Miss Vicki Carter. Vicki? And another gentleman who was on the board for many years. And if you want to know what's going on with the kids or at North Myrtle Beach, you need to ask him. So we kind of, he's not on the committee proper, but he's kind of committee at large, and he keeps me informed and a lot of the committee members informed, and that's Mr. Northfleet Jones, and we appreciate that. This past year has been great for the Keepers of the Dance. We initially started having what we call a Keepers Weekend at this other club down the street, which we're not there anymore. But anyway, we started it down there, and this past year we decided we wanted to make it a bigger weekend, and we usually have it the first of the year every year, and we call it Keepers Weekend. Well, the committee decided that this past year we were going to do a huge dance contest and try to get as many keepers and as many other participants as we could. And it was an ambitious undertaking because we were going to give away between $8,000 and $9,000, and we had no idea where we were going to get it from. So we got with Gary Gibson and his beautiful wife Deborah from Loafers in Raleigh. And Thurston and Linda Reeder from Thirsties 2 in Greensboro. And Harold Bessett. See, I didn't call him Harold Worley this year. Harold Bessett and his staff, and we put together a contest schedule for last year. And we had 3 preliminary contests, and you had to qualify to come down here and dance this past February in the finals. And we had one at Loafers and at Thirsties, and then we had one at Harold's. Well, we're doing the same thing this year, but to make a longer story even longer, we had one hell of a weekend at Harold's last February. We had 3 divisions. We had juniors, we had seniors, and we had the open division. And we had more participation than I've seen in a dance contest since I was young enough to be able to dance a little bit. And we gave away final prizes on that night. On Saturday night, we gave away $5,000. And thanks to the sponsors, which included, again, Thirsties, Loafers, Harold's, all little insignificant people who don't care anything about the young people like Eddie and Catherine Monsoor, you know, the H. Lee and Pam over at the Pavilion, all the businesses up and down the street, and many of the Hall of Famers gave money as sponsors for this contest. And you know what we did? We paid all our bills, and Harold maybe made, $50, $60. And we were able to contribute $500 to the Hall of Fame Foundation. This year we're going to try to make it bigger and better. Loafers is going to have its preliminary contest in November in Raleigh. The poster's outside. It'll be all over the internet and everywhere else. Thirsties will have his in December in Greensboro. Harold's will have the Keepers Weekend in February of 2011. And we hope to make it bigger and better. And for all the people that are here, a lot of people here sponsored this thing last year and gave money. If it wasn't $50, $100, you know, we didn't care. They participated and they came, and it was a great win, and it was a great contribution to the dance and to the Keepers. And the Keepers tried to give something back by, like I said, giving something back to the foundation. And we hope we can make, Eddie, we hope we can make an even bigger gift to the foundation this year. And all you people that gave money last year, the committee members like Susan Neal and Mary Lynn and Sam and all, we're going to be banging on your door again this year for contributions, and it's certainly to a worthy cause. If you hadn't been to Harold's, we have all the keepers' pictures and bios over there now. I kind of fondly call it Keeper's Corner. If you go through Harold's and you go into the back part of Harold's, immediately to your left, you'll see the pictures and biographical information on all of these kids. And tonight we're going to put 2 more that'll be going up there at Harold's in February. You know the routine on the keepers. It's just like the Hall of Fame. They're chosen at Spring Shag Attack. They're inducted Shag Attack in October. And that's what we're going to do tonight. And then, of course, they go onto the wall at Harold's in February during Keepers Weekend. So, without a whole lot of further ado, I would like to ask all the keepers of the dance that are in the room tonight to first come up here, if you will. You guys give these people a great hand. These are the kids that are going to keep us alive right here, folks. Okay, guys, what I want y'all to do, I ask you to do it every year. If you'll come back over here on either side, and just wait a minute, because we got some new keepers introduced. Y'all just kind of get down. Sam, I know you're kind of tall, but you can just squat right on down there. I know you can do those drop spins. You can squat down. Squat. That's the Eastern North Carolina for get down. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce you to this year's keepers, folks. This first young lady was born She was born in Wilmington, North Carolina. And she learned to dance in Wilmington with her older sister when they took shag lessons at a little beach club called Sand Flea Beach Club. She entered her first junior contest in 1983. And since that time, she has formed partnerships with and danced with some of the greatest young dancers in the business. As a matter of fact, several of them are up here now. Several of them were champions with her, and again, most of them were keepers. She was a member of the National Shag Dance Championship dance team for 10 years. She holds 3 junior national titles, 6 junior bad microphone titles, 6 junior grand national titles. She was a 1998 Junior Swing Division U.S. Open champion. And she is the current reigning National Shag Dance Championship professional and overall national champion. Leslie Milton Jennings.
Get him, Leslie.
Is it working? Yeah, it's working. Right. Leslie, with all the love that all the Hall of Famers can give you, welcome to the Shaggers Hall of Fame Keepers in the Dance. Do I have any children?
And I actually might win an award for being the worst on the microphone tonight. But I do want to thank a lot of folks in this room. First to the committee, for the keepers, thank you so much. I hope that I continue to deserve this award. I know that it's the type of award that you do continue to deserve, as we see down here. And also thank you to the keepers, because you guys were my heroes. And sorry. I do this a lot, I'm sorry. But thank you, because I can remember my first images of Shag were you guys on videotapes, and then going to contests, and coming home and telling my dad, because my mom took me, but telling my dad, Brick, he smiled at me at the contest, or William Green said hello, or Jeff Burdick, the national champion, danced with me, and I was like this big, so. And poor Sam, I think the first 2 times that I met him, I just cried. I was so intimidated. So thank you to all the keepers. You're my friends. You were my heroes, and now you're my friends. So thank you. I'm not done, though. Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame Foundation, Hall of Fame, thank you so much. If it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be here, and I know that you're the reason that we love to shag. And to my mom and my husband, because they continue to encourage me to dance. And then also to Barry and Pat, thank you so much for all that you do. And Charlie and Jackie, you guys give us a platform to dance and so many good experiences. And Norfleet Jones for always welcoming me into his club and welcoming me home. So, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Chicken Hicks. So, I love him and I miss him, but I'm done.
She tells me she's done. She's going to dance for us tonight, and she's going to dance for us with a young man who talked her into entering her first junior contest, Mr. Alan Stokes.
Yeah, girl.
Good job, Leslie.
By the way, Alan is the current non-pro champion of basketball.
Put his arms around your waist, held you tight, kisses I could almost taste. In the night, wonder why I'm not the guy whose silhouette's on the shade. I couldn't hide the tears in my eyes. Silhouette, silhouette, silhouette. Down. Two silhouettes on the shade. I'm on the wrong line. Silhouettes, silhouettes, silhouettes. Down you.
Leslie, thank you for all the thrills you've given us old folks over the years. Okay, the second and final keeper of this year is a young man who's born in Thomasville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Another one of those Piedmont people, man. He was introduced to the shag at age 13 by his parents at the jukebox in High Point, North Carolina. Took some group lessons, learned to dance, found his first partner, and became an accomplished junior shagger with the help of a lot of Hall of Famers, actually. He was a member of the 1999 U.S. Open Championship shag team, which Barry doesn't want to remember. It was called Duck's Dirty Cousin. We had a little division in the ranks that year, and so we had two shag teams from the East to go out to the Open. And anyway, he was introduced to the West Coast swing in the mid-1990s, and that's where he met his wife and his present dance partner. He brought a new dimension to the swing, and I kind of, through the few contests that I went through and going through the Grand Nationals and all of Charlie and Jackie's deal down there, I saw him develop into a swing dancer, and he took the shag steps and the footwork that he had, and I actually think that he made a great addition to swing. He won the 1998 Grand Nationals, the 1998, 2000, and 2003 U.S. Open. He's married now, he lives in Texas, and he keeps teaching and he keeps traveling and competing worldwide. Brent Key, come on up. Got the right one now. Brent, come here, son. I watched you grow up. I watched you dance the shag. I watched you dance the swing. And you have done justice to both of them. And we're so happy to have you as keepers of the dances.
Yeah, this is where I really am nervous, like David Campbell in church.
Never happened, has it, Brent?
I don't think so. You know, my mama helped me prepare this, and my dad actually prepared one, but I didn't think that would be appropriate to read up here. First of all, I just want to thank Bill Barber. I appreciate you, Bill. I was sitting at home one night by myself with my kids, and my wife was off kicking everybody's butt in the West Coast swing world. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching TV, and I get a phone call, and it's late at night, and I'm like, who in the heck could be calling me? And I look up, and it's an 843 number, so of course I get excited because it's from somebody here. And it was Bill Barber, and he calls me in the middle of the ceremony of you guys announcing who's going into the keepers, and he let me hear it, and I appreciate that. That was awesome. I don't look as good getting tears in my eyes as Leslie does, I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold it back. Like you said, I started dancing in High Point, North Carolina at the jukebox with Irving, and my first dance teacher was Debbie Rickard. Amazing. I saw her today, and the woman hasn't changed a bit. She looks amazing. And that's where I got my first dance partner was Crystal Taylor. And she was the biggest brat you have ever met in your whole life. But I love her to death. She was amazing. From then, from there I went and started taking from Susie Beaver. I'm sorry, I'm a little bird walking here, but I started taking from Susie Beaver, who was in High Point as well, and had a great time with her. And her commitment to our family and to me and everything that she did for us was awesome, and I really do appreciate her as well. I'm privileged to say that, you know, our generation, the group that I'm in, was kind of the resurgence of the junior shag movement. We started bringing it back. We started making it happen again, and that's awesome to be a part of that. And I didn't know this, but Judy Carver and Shay Carver were the ones that started the JSA, which is the Junior Shag Association. And I had no idea. She was my dance partner one time, and I had no clue. So, being said, now that I've got a couple of my dance partners out, Alicia Burdick, I want to thank her and her family, Jeff, Lauren, Doug, and all them. Those people were awesome. And of course, I started dancing with Shay after Alicia. And Charlie and Jackie were the ones that came to us and said, hey, you guys need to come to this contest in Virginia. It's called the Virginia State Open. Craig Hutchinson runs this event. If you guys would win, you could get a chance to go to the U.S. Open. You get free tickets, you could go see it, it's really cool. They're laying it all out there for us, it was amazing. And that was the first time I've ever pulled a Sam West in a contest. I fell down and I still won. I still won. I didn't quite fall down twice like he has in a contest, but I did fall down. And the funny thing is Jackie's standing there looking at me out of the corner of their eye, and I could hear in her head saying, get up, you dummy, get up. You know, from there on out, I went from Shag to West Coast, taking this dance with me from coast to coast. We've been to England, we're going to France, we're going to all over the world, and it's cool because people in England ask me my background and what dance I come from, and I tell them shag, and they're like, you're a professional shagger. Yes, I am. And I'm married to a swinger. So they're all confused and think these crazy Americans, my God, what have we gotten ourselves into? I won't talk much more, I'm sorry, but I want to thank my wife, amazing dancer. She's taken my dance to different levels that I never thought, you know, that I'd be able to do and accomplish. And with her, without her behind me, pushing me up those steps or down them, whichever one you want to look at it. With her being my driving force in this dance, I want to thank you for sure. And she's hot. Yeah, she's hot. You know, I can't complain. We had two amazing boys out of this whole relationship and dance career and all. It's awesome. I really want to thank my mom and dad. I love y'all for taking me for, you know, my first time to go see all these fat guys dance, and I really liked it. I really want to thank the committee and everybody that's involved. Thank you so much for allowing me to be in this. I appreciate it.
Good job, Browne.
Go back forth. Well, who are you going to dance with, man? Okay. Mr. Brent and Miss Khalees Key.
Well, I seen you in a sadness. I seen you when you'd hope to die. I heard you say, well, it's raining all over the world. What did I tell you? What did I say? Just when you think that's gone, give it one more day. And I seen you with your hair low, face one more day. One more day. Just when you think that's gone, give it one more day. That's right.
Thank you for that, please. Okay. For about 30 more seconds, Mr. DJ, all you keepers, grab a partner. Let's have all the keepers on the floor for about 30, 40 seconds. Let's do a little boogieing.
What about your girl? Mama, she sure is good to me. What about your girl? Mama, she sure
Put my hand, folks. It's the future of the dance.
Anytime she's my country, there's love in love. The chocolate baby's down, but dedicated to all my girls. The chocolate baby's down, but dedicated to all my girls. Now back in town, let them be what I'm putting down. Mama, your daughter looks good to me. That girl, she
Sam
sure
West, Jason Cagle, Jeff Hardy, William Green,
that girl, she
Kristen Taylor, Leslie Williamson, Trey Anderson,
my country, just know
Jeff Burdick, Little David Campbell, Mason Smith,
good for me.
Chris Davidson.
Whatsoever you are, this I can tell is good for me. All good-looking women, that's what I love for me.
Kristen Leggett. Thank you, guys. Big hand, folks. Thank you all.
The Hall of Fame is a perpetual organization. And every year, as we induct this new blood, these new inductees into our midst and add to our organization, we also lose some. And this past year was no exception. We lost some our biggest and brightest stars. I would like to ask you that for just a moment of silence for three people that were, you can't explain it, but Clayton McManaway, Pac-Man Billy Pack, the Jitterbug King. And last but not least, most recently, our friend, Mr. Al Kane. Thank you. Our first person that we're going to induct is our honoree. And to be an honoree means that you have given to the dance, that that you've known the dance, that you have given your heart and soul to it, but maybe not necessarily the best dancer in the world, but just what you have given. But this guy has his own style. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina, a Harding High product. Jesus, Harding High. Okay, I don't even remember that song. He married and had 2 children. Moved around a little bit. His 2 children are Michael and Laurie. Beautiful children. Now, in 75, his life changed tremendously. He met Dennis Sides. And from that point on, they did not miss a shag event, a party. I've been in places where I never thought I'd see anybody that I knew, and then those 2 were walking hundreds of miles from home. But 2 funny guys. He has bartended all over, but he started at the original Sand Flea. That's where this started, under Rick Hubbard. That's where the idea came from, and the Sand Flea is going to be well represented tonight. But he moved to the beach about mid-90s and went to work with Bob Baker and North Fleet Jones. His life is really broken down into 2 parts. The first part being drinking. And he was a pro. I'm telling you, he was a major pro. And since then, he's had 23 plus years of sobriety. And he's still just as funny. He's real funny with sides, but he's on his own, and he'll break you up. He has bartended at just about every joint down here except the arcade. He did not do that. He has his own style. He learned that chasing women back at Harding High, and he calls it his 13-count basic. Whoa. But he is a real guy. He took his drinking to a professional level at one time, and then he got sober, and now somebody said, you know, you ought to try comedy. Well, he's doing stand-up comedy at the Comedy Cabana, at the House of Blues, at parties, on cruises, and I understand he's going to New York. I don't know how they're going to understand him, but he's going to New York, and those guys are going to try to understand this Southern drawl. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cooter Douglas.
Thank you, Sam. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for having the wisdom to put me in as an honorary because I believe it saved Harry Driver the trouble of sending Maurice Treadway down here to whoop somebody's ass. I've enjoyed this fellowship. There's no telling where I could have been if I hadn't have met Dennis Sides. But I've met a lot of lovely people in this thing. I've got my English buddies over here. They've come from England. Sorry we whooped y'all's ass years ago. But I've met a lot of great people in this thing, and like Harry Driver used to say it, I spell shag F-U-N. And that's the way you ought to do it. And what you people need to remember is the friendships and the camaraderie that y'all have developed in this thing, no matter how many steps you do, because that's what this is about. And I'd appreciate it if everybody would remember a good friend of mine, Butch and Deborah Cohen, who aren't here tonight because she's sick. That's the only reason she isn't here. And I'm gonna dedicate this dance to her and maybe do some of my fancy shit. Thank y'all so much for this honor. I appreciate it.
Come on up. He's going to do his 13 count basic. Marilyn taught him everything he knows. A little bit taught you everything you know, doesn't she?
Yeah, a little bit did, yeah. Them Colombian women that get free shooters. I'll show you a titty for a shooter.
Don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like crying? Oh, here I am, honey. Come on, cry to me. When you're all alone, and there's nothing but the smell of her perfume. Don't you feel like I'm crying? Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like I'm crying? Come on, cry to me. Oh, nothing can be said. To come in the night, but there's no one. Don't you feel like I'm crying? Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like a crying?
Dad's been in a couple of them. I'm not sure what kind. Our next inductee is our first female inductee. She learned to tap and jazz and do all those dances that a lot of young girls do in High Point in the 2nd grade. Was a good start for it. At 14, her father taught her to jitterbug. Then she moved on to fast dancing to the City Lake Pavilion in High Point. She danced with the likes of Danny Bean, Roscoe Goad, and Jet Jackson. It's a bad group. Summer trip to the beach, and she hit the real joints of that wonderful time. She was a flight attendant with Eastern in Atlanta, but still found places to dance. She became a wife and mother, which slowed dancing down quite a bit, as it does many during those times, and thank goodness we're back out dancing again. Then she was single again, and had moved, I believe, and took lessons from Susie Beaver. She competed in some non-pro contests, mixed doubles. She's been a big supporter of the Bunk Leach and Hall of Fame Foundation at Thurston's. I'd like to present our first female inductee, the pretty Miss Judy Davis.
Thank you very much. Chick, Sam, Wanda, Board of Directors, esteemed Hall of Fame members, and my fellow inductees. Thank you so much for this wonderful honor tonight. It is very special and dear to my heart, and cherished because it was voted on by my peers. Having to follow Cooter Douglas with all the humor, that's a hard act to follow. It can't get any better than this. I'm so proud of having the support of all my friends and family here tonight and all of the guests. Dancing has been a great happiness to me in my life. More so today than I am in my golden years, as we say. The personality and the devotion of learning to dance with other people and their expression of the dance has been very rewarding. I've been blessed. I would like to leave you with a quote. Dance to the rhythm of God and hold the beat. Let His world move your soul and control your feet. Turn inward and spin a true romance. Dance and thank God for every dance. I'd like to dance with James Austin Davis, my son. I would start the dance with him tonight. And then Earl Robinson, excuse me. This is not easy up here. Earl Robinson to finish the dance. Thank you so much.
She has her picture out on the wall with Austin. I just wanted to remind everybody about signing the card for Charles Gurley, in case someone wasn't in here when I announced it before. It's back in the corner. Where is Gary Scott? Could you go out and meet out at the front just a minute? Please. Also, the videos I announced before, y'all come up and let me know. They're 20 or 22, and the ones 2005 through 2009 are out front for 15. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Sam. Can y'all hear me in the back? Okay.
Our next inductee, a young man from Alabama who graduated from that Auburn University, I don't know, it's someplace down there in Alabama. And after that he went into the Navy. The Navy took him out of the Deep South. He loved dancing because of his father's soft shoe, and that to me touches my heart. He's danced all over the eastern seaboard, some kind of dance or another, but during the Navy days. He married Julie in 1965. She became a Hall of Fame member in 1997, and we lost her that same year, I'm sorry to say. He met his new bride, lovely bride, Elise, at SOS in 2001. Like a lot of people, he spent a lot of time at the Sand Flea. And not only did he dance countless hours there, he also became a stockholder. He managed to join for 3 years. He's quite a guy. I mean, he loves it. And he gives all his credit to the girls that hold his hand on the dance floor. Well, son, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for your feet, you wouldn't be getting into the Hall of Fame. And you are Mr. Ed Evans.
I've spent a few nights with Ed. Not exactly with him, but at his house.
This is going to be short and sweet. I love this dance, and I want to thank everybody that contributed to me standing up here tonight. And it's the fellowship of all of you. I love all of the Shaggers and the ladies that gave me the privilege of dancing with them. And I don't know what else you can say except thank you.
I believe he's going to be dancing with Elise. And all the women love dancing with Ed, too. He's easy.
Take it off! Take it off!
Go ahead!
see everybody loves it. Our next female inductee, we changed it. Forgot to tell you. We weren't going to give a break right now, but we're going to wait till after this dance. And after this one, I would like for the keepers of the dance to come up and get a group picture made while we're taking the break. Just come up quickly after this inductee. This young lady was born in Connecticut. She grew up in Motown and sang lead in local bands. I've been telling her she needs to, she said her voice has changed, that I told her she needs to come dance at, sing at the Hideaway when William has a blues or a jazz night. She moved to Charlotte, that's a long way from Hartford in a lot of ways. Her eyes were opened especially to a dance called the Shag. She was invited by a girlfriend to go to a dance club. In her words, she was mesmerized by what she saw. She tried it and was hooked. She thanks all of the gentlemen who were patient with her in the beginning. She came to the first SOS, not the first SOS, but I think the first one she came to. Went to all of the places down here and was just amazed and intimidated when the really good dancers hit the floor. And you know, people shouldn't be intimidated because nobody's going to watch you if you don't dance good. So get out there. That's the way I feel about it. She has great memories of dancing in some of the both Carolina's clubs, like Thurston's, the Pavilion, Red's, Sand Flea, Loafers, to name a few. She is no longer a Yankee, but a belle with Southern charm. You'd never know she was a Yankee. She gives Kim Maynard the honor of being her biggest influence on her dancing. However, she does have her own style. Through Kim, she met a lot of dancers, saw unique dancing, met a lot of seasoned dancers and characters of our era and past. The next lady who can really boogie down is Miss Kathy Lasner.
These aren't even gonna work. Thank you, all of you. Let me first thank my Heavenly Father for blessing me with happy feet. Next, a big thanks, all of you, for your friendship, your encouragement. It is a privilege to be chosen amongst such seasoned dancers, and I am truly humbled. I'm happy to have some of my family here tonight. My daughter Lorraine, my son-in-law Mike, Katie, Carly, and Conrad, some co-workers, the church ladies from Stowe, and as a big, big surprise, a woman that I've worked for many, many years has surprised me here tonight, Sarah and her husband, Doug. Now, with your permission, I'd like to do what I come here to do with all of you, and that's dance. Yeah. Mr. Maynard, can you help a girl out?
You want that gold card and that plaque. Look at me, Kathy. Look at Monty. Wait, get up here with Chick.
He learned to do the basic about 12. He made his big move in dancing at, again, the Sand Flea. Sand Flea played a lot of people's lives. He has danced to our music, and he's even competed for 4 or 5 years. He's a dancer, a DJ, he's a teacher. He loves the music. And reading his bio, he mentioned so many people that I can't even start to get into them without this getting too long. But he gave major homage and honor to a lot of great dancers, great folks. And you can feel his love for the dance, for the organization, and for the music. He married Elaine, who is a Hall of Famer, and they have been involved in every way that they can ever since. This is going to be a fine addition because he's a great gentleman, Mr. John Wilson. He's got your stuff.
Man, they asked me if I was nervous. I said, no, I'm going to have the microphone. And I played music for a long time, and I've seen lots of stuff. I could tell, a lot of stories I could tell. But to be really honest, it's this thing about the Hall of Fame, it's absolutely exciting for me, but it's very humbling too, because of this great group of people. The amount of heart that's in this group and that's in this room tonight is just mind-boggling. I've tried a lot of ways to figure out more words, maybe a better way to say it, but hell, it'd take some great big book. You can't do it in 2 minutes. I can't do it anyway. Okay, just absolutely can't do it. Might be a little bit impropro, but I would like to say one thing. Go Cox! And I did want to mention one other thing again to Mr. Meyer that we talked about. It ain't right to make us old people get up here and dance after those kids dance. It just ain't right. It just absolutely ain't right, okay? But I've been extremely fortunate. The thing about this group is if you get close to it, you don't really have to ask to be a part of it. They will just grab you and suck you in. I mean, that's the way it is. Their heart is so big. And you become a part of it, and you make lifetime friends. And you're lucky enough also to get lifetime teachers, not only about dance steps, but about a lot of other things as well. And I count myself very fortunate in that respect as well. I'd like to name a lot of names, but I could name just about everybody in the room. A lot of you I met almost 30 years ago at that little beer hall on Rutherford Road that Mr. Hubbard started, Sand Flea. Unbelievable, okay? I do want to thank, stand up, Mom. This my 85-year-old mom, Doris. And my 2 little daughters, Kay. She's the one that gave me the gene for the jitterbug. That's where I got it. Her and her sisters used to dance at the USO. Okay. So. The Big Apple. The Big Apple.
couple of years. There was one dance school in the whole town, and I was the only boy. But anyway. But I do want to thank you all. It certainly is a great honor, and I do appreciate it, will always appreciate it. And I treasure each and every one of you. Now I'm going to see if one of the best things I got out of this is this little short blonde-haired girl right here. She's going to get mad if I call her short, and I'm going to see if I can get her up here to dance with me one more time. Thank you.
You're right.
I believe the second young lady was John's daughter he was dancing with. John, look at the camera now. And Mama can still cut a rug too. Our next inductee is a female, because we just inducted a male. We keep inducting a lot of these people that we get them down south and teach them to shag. This young lady was born in Boston, but her family moved to Charleston when she was 3, so she's definitely Southern. She'd go back up north during the summer when she was around 15 and hop a train to Boston, go to Philly, or in Boston, go to Philly. And she was on that new TV program called American Bandstand. At 14, she was at Folly Beach Pier dancing. So I figured out she might be a little younger than me, but that's where my family used to go, Carolyn Hedrick. And it was a good place to go and dance too. During high school, she would sneak out to dance at hot spots like Seaside, Merchant Seaman, and other hangouts. She danced all over Atlanta when her job moved her down there, and she danced competitive some. She's boogied all over North and South Carolina. She still works, still traveling around boogieing. But she's at OG. It's her second home. She's a great little dancer. And you always know that she usually has a pocketbook hanging over her shoulder. I guess she thinks she's going to steal her money. Would Leslie Cohen please come on down? Where's your pocketbook?
I'm Jewish, but I'm not cheap.
She's Jewish, but she's not cheap.
This is going to be brief because I need a nap. Huh? I know. All right. When I was around 14, my girlfriend and I would sneak up to Ocean Drive to dance. Ever since then, I've been in love with the dance and everything it stands for. Dancing has been a big part of my life, and it will continue to be as long as I live. I'd like to thank the people who nominated me over the years, and a special thanks to the people who voted me in this year. I'm thrilled to be included with this year's group of inductees. It means everything to me. The end.
She's going to boogie with 3 men, I believe. Joe Skinner's going to come out first. Zach Smith is going to come in. And Buzz, if Buzz is able to dance, he's going to come out and dance with her. We never know with Buzz. There's Joe Skinner out here. I'm just going to remind y'all one more time about signing the card if everybody has it, and about the videos. I've already had some people come up during the last break, but y'all, afterwards I'll be up here if anybody wants to order a video, and like I said, I don't know whether the girls still have them outside. I think I have them up here now, the past videos.
Our next young man, is there one here? Is a North Carolina boy. He grew up listening to John R. and all the other R&B stations. He went on family vacations, and they were right here at Ocean Drive, or some of the local beaches. He was very influenced by the dance when he came down here, and the people that really impressed him the most was Mike Osborne, Buzz Sawyer, Henry Moody, and Larry Lupo. He saw in them athleticism. I practiced that all week. Athleticism. Thank you. Finesse, poise, timing. He duplicated all of this in his own style. A very sexy, beautiful style. He went away to college, he married, he moved, and that took him away from the dance for a while. But in 1980, Swink Lawler came up with this idea of a reunion. Could that be SOS? Anyway, I went over and that got him back out. He started boogieing again, and he's been to every party, shag attack, everything that he could go to. He's even competed. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ed Miller.
I thought I'd had too much to drink, but you can't pronounce athleticism. Oh, I got to clean up my act, you already told me. I am so nervous, which you all know, and it really helps when people come up. As 15 people ask me, "Are you nervous?" So I went to a speech coach, believe it or not. I'm serious, I pay good money for this, so y'all bear with me. I'm supposed to close my eyes, y'all just take a deep breath, and visualize the audience in their underwear. Oh my God. Walmart sells G-string, Jesus. Sam, what you got on your Speedo there? A little hoy hoy. Damn, hoy. I just want to say one thing. It's been absolutely wonderful coming down here for the past 30 years. I appreciate all the women putting up with my mess and dancing with me and everything. Well, anyway, I appreciate everybody putting up with me, and this group, the serious side, wants to say that I think everybody has experienced this. I have been through the ups and downs, and to come down here and have people upbeat, how you doing, you look good, give you a hug, give you a kiss, dance with you, that's the best therapy in the world. So I appreciate it. And I'm honored. Thank you.
What a guy. Who you dancing with, son? Miss Harrell. Janet.
I'd like to say that Ed and I howled at the moon one night with a bunch of people out of the trunk of a car doing shooters. It was a full moon.
You want me to
Y'all see that smile on Janet's face and that belly roll? Okay. This is our last female inductee. And her bio, this is important, y'all, is a tribute to her late mother, Audrey. Audrey danced to the great music with this young lady in her arms and continued to teach and support her to the end. As a young lady, she was always at Atlantic Beach listening to the boogieing and dancing at the pavilion there. That's Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. When she was old enough, she was at the Jolly Knave watching Susan and Ronnie, Bones, Milton, and Danny Bean. At ECU, she majored in weekends at the Nave. I don't know how she got her degree. Reds in Kinston, the Embers Club in Raleigh. She moved to Georgia, married, then moved to Charleston, I think. That's where Dylan was born. Then she met friends like Andy and Sherry, Gail and Claude, Roger and Peggy, Angie and Gino, and her buddy Leslie. Single again, she was up here in North Myrtle Beach. Began running with the likes of Charles Gurley and Milton Now. That should tell you she wasn't scared. She was part of the Nest crew, Nest, now, during its heyday. The Nest. Thank you, Audrey, for giving us Mansell Valiente Thomas.
Wow. First, I want to thank the board of directors and the selection committee. As everyone said here tonight, this is a truly humbling experience. I want to thank some of my mentors through the years. I want to thank Sandra Schwartz Adams for leading me in different paths right now. Of course, I want to thank Milton for his love of the music. I want to thank Charles Gurley for his knowledge and wealth about this music and what it means to each and every one of us. If you look around this crowd tonight, you do see nothing but friendship, camaraderie, and the deep emotional bond that occurs throughout the years while we experience and love and relish in this dance. I want us to think about what's happening at the beach at this moment about our dance and kind of think about clubs closing, things happening, and let's see if we can't have some kind of rejuvenation in that respect. I only have 2 short minutes, so let me say this. Last but not least, I have to thank my mom, Audrey Valeni. She taught me about this music. She taught me about this dance. So this is a very bittersweet time for me. She died September a year ago, just a few short months before I was announced that I would be inducted. But I know that tonight she's looking out over me. She's watching me, and I know that she's very proud. I want to thank my friends and family for coming tonight. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being such a great part of my life. Let's boogie.
Mansell is going to have several men dancing with her. This is not a break-in dance, but several men that she has asked to dance with her. Would they come on up and get started?
The moon was all aglow, and
Wanda says I'm on. This is our last male inductee. But after that, we have a grand finale. And you need to see this. This guy grew up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, about 2 blocks from a skinny, tall, blonde-headed kid called Eddie Page. Later in his life, I think several years later, a tall, skinny girl moved in town. Same neighborhood, Janet Harrell. She was a young thing, though. He's real quick to point out that Eddie was a lot older than he was, and Janet was a lot younger. Smart man. When he was coming down to this beach with his family on family vacation, one year his family allowed him to bring a friend, and much to their dismay, it turned out to be Paige. Well, they went straight to the pavilion with lots of questions, watched the dancers, etc., etc. Of course, back in those days, you didn't get a lot of answers. So here they go back to Winston, and they're dancing to Joe Turner and the doorknob, trying to figure out those steps they saw down here. It wasn't long, and then Paige slipped over to Janet for a dance partner, for a practice partner, and you know, he found out about it. But anybody that knows these two yahoos knows that she can dance circles around either one of them. She was a young girl, and I really feel sorry for her, because when I look back, I mean, she had to fight for her innocence since she was a kid with these two. Jeez. This guy's got his own style, though. He comes out, he laughs, he has a big time, he'll dance every record. And when you watch him on the dance floor, you'll never see him without a smile on his face. Mr. Kenneth Carter. You could have gone to the parking lot and been further away.
I was going to say some funny shit, but everybody else is taking care of that. So I want to thank my family for being here. My daughter Allison, my son Greg, my daughter-in-law Sherry, and my granddaughter Caitlin, and Caitlin and Sherry have gone back to the room because Caitlin didn't want to be here. For some reason, I have no idea what. Anyway, I love all you people, and I've had a really good life, and this has been most of it, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Anyway, I'm going to dance now. They told me I had 2 hours. Is all I had. 2 hours. Did you say 2 hours or 2 minutes? Which was it? Oh, damn. All right. Anyway, Debbie, where's Debbie? There's Debbie. We're going to dance.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Are you going down? On the floor. All right, then I'm going to wait for you. You know what you're going to do? Get it. Get it. Get out there, baby. You did walk the front of your feet.
You did want Sophronia B. Wine spaghetti wide
Come help me quick, I'm lost and blue, I'm feeling sick, trembling in my shoes, I'm double up, bent over, knocked out about you, all in a daze, baby, can't live without you, heart flapping, mouth gapping, lips yapping, all ain't about you. I see you there, you pass me by, I stop and stare, giving you the eye. I'm double up and over, knocked out about you, all in a daze, baby, can't live without you, heart clapping, mouth gapping, lips yapping, all ain't about you. Well, if I had the chance to show you how I care, oh, what a great romance that you and I could really share. I only hope this love you'll see and you'll devote all your life to me. I've been over, knocked out about you, all in a day, baby. Can't live without you. Hearts flapping, mouths yapping, lips yapping, all ain't you. Well, I'm so fit, I'm gone. I'm busy at the doctor. Won't you come along? 'Cause you're the very last word. I hope this love you'll see and you'll devote all your life to me. I'm doubled up, moved over, knocked out about you, all in the days, baby, can't live without you.
I would like to ask everybody that's in the Hall of Fame, including the new inductees, after the last program, this next little thing we're doing, that y'all probably know what it is, to hang around and let's try to get a group picture while we have as many Hall of Famers here as we do. So we'll do that at the end of the program, after this next exhibition.
Our exhibition will start with an introduction by the chairman of our National Shag Competition guy, a member of the Keepers of the Dance Committee. He's also a Hall of Famer himself. A very fine gentleman, Mr. Barry Thigpen.
Be sure and catch them through the year. Another little announcement I'd like to make too is another Hall of Fame that will be the first time this year is going to be May the 9th at Coastal Carolina University. And we're going to have the Beach Music Hall of Fame where 8 artists are inducted. As a salute to those 8 artists, our dance team is dancing tonight to one of their records, and we're not going to say who it is, but if you know anything about music, you'll know who it is. This team is a fine group this year. It's choreographed by your newest member of the Keepers of the Dance, Leslie Melton Jennings, and Sam West, the oldest member of the Keepers of the Dance. And also we do have Jason Cagle, who's a member of the Keepers of the Dance, along with his wife, Holly, and they are the captains of the dance. So look for them this year. They're going to do a lot of good things, ladies and gentlemen. And if we could we get some lights on here so you can see them, please, over here and over here? I think somebody cut them off. Well, I don't know. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2010 National Shag Dance Championship Dance Team.
Satisfied, I get down on my knees. No sweet loving tonight. No sweet loving tonight. There's no sweet loving, no sweet loving tonight. Difference a day makes 24 living on me. See the sun in the flower where there used to be rain. Oh, my yesterday was blue day. Oh, the day I was my lonely nights are through. Since you said you were mine, Lord, what a difference. There's a rainbow before you. No, the skies may be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, that thrilling kiss, said it's heaven when you find love on your knees. What a difference a day makes, and the difference is you. She was ready to go. There'll be sweet loving tonight. There'll be sweet loving, be sweet loving tonight. There'll be sweet loving tonight.
I do not know. I can still go down like that, I just can't get back up. I hope y'all enjoyed the program tonight. We tried to give a couple longer breaks. We did manage to get through close to 12. And we would like for the Hall of Famers, if you're still able to hang around for like 10 minutes, to get a group picture while we have this many here. Thank y'all for coming. And we'll see you in the spring. Let Sam say something. I got to give the microphone up.
Thank y'all for coming. Our DJs will be here for your dancing pleasure until you're ready to go home. So, rock and roll, son. See y'all next year.
Thanks for signing Charles Gurley.